Welcome everybody to another edition of Chamber Chat, which is our opportunity at the Boulder Chamber to reach out to our members and to the Boulder business community regarding all the things that we're doing to help address your needs during this difficult COVID-19 response period. So I will say that our priorities during this period have been to make sure that we both get you access to the funding you need, also to make sure that you have information resources that are supportive of your business activities. So first, with respect to funding, most of you are probably familiar that the federal government has passed the CARES Act, which has a number of financing resources available for your businesses. We will be providing a forum on how to access those resources on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, this coming Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We will have Sharon King, who's the Boulder SBDC director, with us, along with banking experts, to help walk you through step by step how to access those federal dollars in grants and loans. So please have that on your calendar. Second, we will be putting together a list of banking institutions that are making themselves available to provide those SBA resources. So that list is in process of being developed with the SBDC, and we will make sure to share that with you, along with direct contacts to those banks, and for those who need it, Spanish language assistance. So on the information side, in addition to helping you get the funding resources, we have another special program on communicating during a crisis. How do you get your information during a crisis period to your customers on how they can support your business and/or what your current business activities are during this COVID-19 response time. That program will be on Monday at 11:30, and we have great folks there to provide that information from Dovetail Solutions as well as MAPR Agency. So make sure to have that on your calendar as well. That's on Monday at 11:30. And then finally, just want to make sure that all of you are aware that the City of Boulder has sent out a survey to all businesses in Boulder. It's their Business Impact Survey, which is going to collect important information on the nature of the challenge your business is facing and how we can best respond as business support organizations. And that's the Boulder Chamber working in collaboration with the City of Boulder, but also all the other business support organizations. We need this information to make sure that we're responsive to your needs. So those are the key pieces of information and also important access to financing that we wanted to make sure you're aware of this week. But I also want you to have a chance to understand where we currently sit with respect to the COVID-19 situation. And no better person to help us understand that than the Executive Director of Boulder County Public Health, Jeff Zayach. As Jeff and I talked, we've been probably working together, we think, going back 30 years now, and neither of us have had this type of experience. And so working together in collaboration, we want to make sure that you have the information on what we're seeing out there and how your business can be supportive of addressing this public health threat. So I'm going to turn it over to Jeff. Jeff, thank you so much for being on Chamber Chat today.
John, thank you so much. And I want to thank the Chamber as well for all the partnership that we've had over the years. It's been wonderful to be working with you. And again, thank you for this invite. I want to first just share a few characteristics of this virus that are so concerning to us and why it's so important for us to follow the governor's stay-at-home orders. So a couple weeks ago, the CDC reported that 69% of the people that have been hospitalized are less than 65 years old. So we know this virus is impacting people across all ages. A little over a week ago, the National Institutes for Health also shared that 4 out of 5 people are spreading this virus without even knowing that they have it. So again, when you think about the orders and the importance of the orders, knowing that we have 4 out of 5 people spreading the virus without even knowing it really reinforces the importance of that. We also learned more information yesterday about how far droplets can drift, and that we know that it's more than 6 feet now. And we get changing information about this virus on a weekly basis. So it's been really difficult for us to try to make sure that we're taking the most appropriate strategies. Hearing that information yesterday has required us to now think about how does our messaging need to change at a statewide level, and what do we need to do in terms of the protocol on the use of masks, just as a couple of examples. Obviously, we need to take this virus seriously. At the same time, one of the messages that I always like to make sure that people hear is please do not panic. We need people to remember that 80% of the people that get this virus are going to have mild symptoms, 20% are going to have more serious symptoms, and the fatality rate is between 1 and 5% depending on which country you're looking at. So I want to talk really specifically to the businesses about the importance of the stay-home order. As you've heard the governor talk about, it's incredibly important because we know that for every person that gets this virus in the state of Colorado, they're going to affect, on average, 3 other people. Those 3 other people are going to infect 9 other people. Those 9 people are going to infect 27 people. So that importance of controlling the spread is critical. And the purpose of the order is to get people to stay home so we lower that number. We don't want people infecting 3 other people. We don't want people infecting anybody else. So the importance of the order and following that order is critical to us being able to stop the spread of the virus and for us to be able to get back to what we consider more normal life than where we are right now. This is clearly a situation that none of us have experienced any times in our lifetime. So the better we are at adhering to those orders, the more quickly we're going to get back to that situation. And it's important for everybody to hear this because public health and law enforcement don't have enough staff to assure that everyone in every area of our county are following these orders. It really comes up to each and every one of us. So as businesses, if you can make sure you're looking at those orders, make sure you're following the essential services orders that are in there. And if you have questions, I will make sure that I get John our website so you can direct any questions to us that you might have. But it's absolutely up to each and every one of us to do our part to make sure that that goes forward. I think the other thing that people need to hear and know is that once the orders are lifted, we have to have 4 really critical things in place to keep that curve flattened, as I know you've all been hearing from the national level and from the local level. And those 4 things are assuring that we have surge capacity for our hospitals. We are working actively on that right now to assure that we have better testing in place. And we are working on that at the state level, and we are linking directly to the governor's innovation task force that's working on this. The third thing is containment. So assuring that we have the ability with better testing to identify people who are positive and then to do a better job of isolation and quarantine of those people so that we don't continue to spread the disease as we are holding down that curve with those orders that are in place. And the last is more surveillance and monitoring in the general population, and that is moving forward at a state level as we speak today. So I think the thing that I want to leave you all with is please remember that this comes down to each and every one of us taking responsibility to follow those orders. Take this virus seriously. I think you probably all saw on the national news that it's a significant issue. It's impacting our communities, it's impacting our state, it's impacting our nation, and it certainly is going to leave a scar on all of us individually in our own communities. So the better we can follow those orders, the quicker we're going to get back to normal. I want to make sure to thank again the Chamber. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that you've asked me and invited me to be on this, and thank you again for all of the partnership that we've had over the many years that we've worked together, John.
Amen, Jeff. I just can't tell you how impressed I am and thankful I am for the work that you're putting in and your entire emergency response team. This has been a all-in, all hands on deck effort. And I know that under your leadership, we're going to get through this as responsibly and as quickly as possible. So thank you so much for that information, Jeff. And I can only urge our businesses to make sure that we're complying so that we can get through this incident and move on and get back to the recovery as soon and as quickly as possible. So thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you.
So I just want to remind our viewers that, first of all, Remember, we are going to have the forum on how to access the federal funding. That's on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Make sure to register. That will be your walkthrough of how you, as quickly and as effectively and efficiently, get those federal resources. Second, we are going to be putting together and distributing a list of banking resources that are which are the funders that will be your support in getting those dollars to your business. And then third, we have the crisis communication, or communicating in a crisis workshop. That's Monday at 11:30. You can register through the Boulder Chamber. Finally, make sure to fill out that business impact survey. That is critical information so that we can continue to evolve our response efforts and make sure we're addressing your needs. So I'll just conclude by saying we're all in this together. We're here today to support you and make sure that you, your workers, get through this in a healthy fashion and get back to business as soon as we can. So I'll sign off by saying, stay healthy, stay cool. We're going to get through this. We're all in it together. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.